to say. So I was pushing down a major street going to where I live. I'm almost home, like right around the corner from home, but I'm pushing. I got the light. The light isn't close to turning yellow yet, but it does do that. I don't know why, whatever. I'm not trying to figure it out, but I'm pushing probably 35 in what could be, I guess, a 30. It's a major artery street. And so I'm almost home. And as soon as I push through, I see CPD TAC, and they are, in an unmarked blue, navy blue car, the Ford Police Interceptor SUV. And so as soon as I push through, they break the light, the red light, and come after me, which I don't care about that. I'm not particular on that. If I was in their shoes, I'd have done the same thing, because my car could be construed as a car that could be, whatever, I guess, suspicious. Because in these days and ages, people transport drugs in cars that look like mom and pop and, family cars and stuff like that. So they pull me over, light me up. And immediately, as soon as I pull over, I turn on my interior lights and I put my hands on, 11, like I teach my students. And so cop approaches me, not a white cop, black cop. Black cop approaches me, and he sees my hands first, as that position allows them to see my hands first, so they know I don't have anything in my hands. And I said, I'm not the one you're looking for, or anything like that, because he kind of, they approached not personally, but in their vehicle, engines roaring like they were trying to catch up, like they're looking for somebody, and that happens. And so I said, I'm not the one you're looking for. I'm right around the corner from where I live. And he was like, well, you can go on ahead and relax your hands. I told him, no, I can't relax my hands. And he was like, well, why not? I can't relax my hands because, my job in essence is to make you feel safe. I've been in your shoes. I used to do what you do. I'm a concealed carry instructor. And so, this is transactional. My job is, again, to make you feel safe. If no way on your body camera. And he had the body camera clearly on his vest. He didn't hide his badge or anything like that, or star. You can clearly see what name and his unit of assignment was, where he was from, stuff like that. And his body camera's right there. And me thinking like the cop I used to be, no way am I going to relax my hands and, put them in my lap. And one of my firearms, this Glock 26, I carry in my appendix, in a diagonal way, just like this. And so no way are you going to, my hands then drop on the body camera, and then I flinch or make an interpretive move that could be misconstrued as furtive. And then that gives you a reason, both good and bad, corrupt or not saying he is that, but thinking for when things go bad. No way are you going to interpret that as a move where, I teach my students, if your hands can disappear, it accelerates the fear. I'll repeat that again if you're writing this down. If your hands can disappear, that accelerates the fear. Now, Kathy Hilliard, you asked the question, when will the police start making us feel safe during a traffic stop? I don't know. That's a subjective thing. It needs to be transactional. But I can't worry about what the police will do entirely. I am in control of my actions. And looking at that body camera, just imagine if my hands disappeared. Then what information would I have on evidence, or to be able to state on the record and have a factual degree of certainty and have evidence to be able to show that my hands never disappeared. I never placed the officer in a position to feel that he was unsafe. And in fact, under the request of relaxing my hands for the sake of my safety and for the sake of his, right? I am not going to let my hands disappear. Okay. It's okay. It's all good, Alex. Ain't no thing. It's all good. It's dead in the water. You're a good friend. That's why I figured I'd just say what I said and you'll understand. It's all good. But I don't, for his safety and for mine, it's nighttime, right? It just happened. You guys got my coat on. It's nighttime. And, I don't know if he just woke up from slumber or whatever the case might have been, if he's just starting his shift, who knows? But I don't want to put him in the position to have to make that judgment call, because I've been in his shoes before. And you can go on YouTube or whatever and see countless of traffic stops where, a person dropped their hands and next thing you know, a gun quickly came up, which could have easily happened had I not been me and had it been someone else. So I'm saying all that to say that a police officer, and we'll look at the Philando Castile situation just in small in part. If someone asks you to get your driver's license and you know that there's a high possibility that something could go wrong, I'd rather ask more questions, state more things. Not that I'm not complying, but it's just that, and just like I stated in the body camera in the situation, I want to make you feel safe. So I want you to kind of like over exaggerate yourself. My hands are here, but my ID is in my wallet. Can I step outside so you can see a clear and unobstructed view of me trying to get my wallet? Why? It's not that I'm afraid of you shooting me per se. It's that I understand the human element that when those hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. That's really what it is. When those hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. I'll say it again. When those hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, give a shit your race. When your hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. So I want to keep my hands where you can see them, because one thing that is definitely true, in order for me to be able to use this weapon, that's why it's called the grip. I have to grasp it with my hands. In order for me to be able to use this, I have to grasp it with my hands. Where the hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. It creates the possibility for that argument to be used. I did not see his hands. He could have been going for a gun. That is a very true argument. Whether the standard of evidence is proof beyond a reasonable doubt and a 95% standard, more likely than not standard, that's 51, or whether it's just a Terry standard, whether it's lesser than that. If the hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. Anyone could see that. Stevie Wonder can see that. Matter of fact, Ray Charles felt around the wrist to see if the hands were fair, if the wrist was, started to get large, the person had weight. If a blind person can see that, I know a person with eyes can, And so I just wanted to share that quick lesson with you guys because it was just on my mind to just do. It is your job to know the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is your job to know the game. If you know the game and you know how it's played, you can understand when someone with good intentions tells you to do something that could end up resulting in disastrous outcomes because maybe they don't understand what they're asking you to do. Now, I think that when he asked me that with great intentions, and that's what I was getting to. Sometimes police officers lacks the tactics so as not to come off as mean or to come off as rude or to seem, like who they actually are, in some in part, or most in part. I don't know. It's subjective. I'll leave it to you. I ain't gonna get into semantics. I'm tired, but sometimes they say, oh, you can relax your hands, so they don't want to come off as rude or make you feel like, you should be afraid of them. Look, I'm not going to relax the tactics because I know the game, right? When the hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. And I'm not going to put you in that position to have to make that quick call in fear of your life because I understand what those good traffic stops are about. I understand what those bad traffic stops are about. I understand what it's like to be afraid. I understand what it's like to look down the barrel of a gun. I understand what it's like to lose partners or friends, even from the same or other departments in the line of duty. I know what those things are like. Most of you who are police officers who follow me, who are seeing this, you know what that's like too, And then some of you know what it's like to have other people who have lost their lives and you may have not have even seen it, experienced none of those things, but you were trained on those things. So I want you all to understand and take this information for exactly what it is. It's information. Where the hands disappear, it accelerates the fear. Put your hands on 11, turn on the interior lights, have your credentials where you don't have to reach. That's the number one. That's a number one thing on top of the one thing. Make your credentials where you don't have to reach because, again, where your hands disappear, it accelerates the fear.